Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I've kind of been wanting to do like a video on how I've been doing kind of like my flawless skin routine. I am gonna have to alter it a little bit though, because like what I had been doing was when I was tanned, and I haven't used self tanner in a bit, so I can't necessarily do the exact same color, so I might have to alter it a little bit, but we'll see. So there are some like products from NARS, MAC, Too Faced, all that type of stuff that I have gotten recently and I have fallen like head over heels in love with. So yeah, I'll be using those like in this tutorial. Alright, before we get started, I'm sitting really far back on my seat right now and I'm kind of afraid I'm gonna fall because like I feel like my setup right now is just like, if I was sitting regular, this is all that you would see of me. Like, it cuts the top of my head off and then you can't see my hairstyle, you can't see my shirt, you can't see any of my stuff here. Anyway, now that you guys have seen my shirt and my hair, I'm now going to sit regular and I'm gonna probably zoom you guys in a little bit. Alright, so the foundation that I've been using lately, the combination that I really like, which I've actually, like, because I've liked it so much, I'm actually thinking about using it for the wedding. I just have to make sure that I'm tan when I do it. So I'm going to mix some of the Tarte Face Tape foundation, and I have the shade 275 Light Medium Sand. And if you want like a reference for what color this is, if you have ever used the IT Cosmetics CC Plus foundation, it matches the shade Light in that. That's how I matched them. So I'm gonna use this, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of the Laura Mercier, or why did I say Laura Mercier? I know this isn't that. The Fiona Stiles Matte Finish Foundation Concentrate in the shade 07. So this one is like super dark. I had bought this, it was like on a mega sale. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grab that because they were like all out of the really light ones that I needed. So like I said, I'm probably gonna mix these, but I might add a little bit of a light foundation because your girl's pale right now. So I was just using like a pump of the Tarte foundation and then just like that much of the Fiona Stiles, maybe like half a pump. We're trying something new today. I'm gonna mix like the tiniest little bit of the Kat Von D Lock It Concealer in L1 Neutral, just because it's like white basically. I'm just gonna mix a little bit because I don't know what this is gonna do. Sometimes, here's a tip for you, sometimes when like I'm using a foundation, which this already has like really good coverage, so the sole purpose of mixing a concealer was just to lighten it, but if I'm using a foundation that is not super full coverage, or like I just want a little bit extra, I'll actually mix in some sort of concealer with it, and it kind of just like adds a little bit of coverage for you. Alright, and I'm back to using just like the regular old beauty blender, and I know it looks really gross. It's kind of old. I probably need a new one. Don't judge me. So while I'm blending this, let me just say, I mentioned in the last video that I filmed that I'm like doing microblading and lash extensions. So I actually like, I'm going to a lash extension like hands-on training this weekend with my friend Ricky. And there's like an online thing that you had to do like before even attending the class. And they also sent like a kit with like some tools and stuff in it. The kit came yesterday. My boss got it and I ran over, got it, and I did the entire thing last night, which was like, I think it was like 7 hours total, like with me taking breaks and stuff. And I finished it. I did all of it. And I'm so excited to do lash extensions. It's not even funny. Like, it was really fun. It's like very intricate because you're literally gluing like one single lash hair to one single lash hair. So it's basically like you gotta concentrate and focus and just have a steady hand, but like it was so fun. I think like being a makeup artist, it was just like a lot of fun building a set of lashes basically. Oh, I just thought about something. I'm listening to Lizzo right now and it like reminded me. Has anybody seen the trailer or anything about that movie Hustlers that's supposed to be coming out? If so, what are your thoughts? Because I'm super excited about it. The cast alone and then just like the storyline seems so good. If you haven't heard of it, basically, it's like, it has like an awesome cast. J-Lo is in it. The girl, I think her name is Lily Reinhart, the one that plays Betty on Riverdale, is in it. Lizzo, I think, was in it. Cardi B is in it. There might be other people, I can't remember. It's basically like they're strippers that like they have their money taken from them all the time. You know, they miss out on their full pay. And so in return, they decide to hustle a bunch of like Wall Street guys that basically got away with like taking money from everyone else. And it just looks amazing because it's like the cops don't really, you know, catch on to it because it's like, oh, they're big Wall Street guys going to a strip club, like, whoa, you know, and it's just, it looks so good. I'm so excited to see it. I think it's supposed to be coming out soon. I just love J.Lo and literally everything. All right, so there is just like one coat, just like fully over it. There are some places that I'm gonna go back and add a little bit more. So then after I have like the one full coat of foundation, I'll just go back and I'll just kind of like go over other places that just need a little bit more coverage. So like I'm just gonna take a little bit underneath of my eyes, just to like cover any darkness. I haven't really been wearing like concealer under my eyes too much, so I'll just kind of layer a little bit extra foundation. See how it just kind of like brightens up the under eye area there. And then I feel like I'm not really like loading like a million different products on my face. Plus I feel like my under eye area really isn't as bad as like what other people can get. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't get enough sleep ever. So it's not because I'm getting more sleep than other people, but I just kind of, I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't bother me very much. All right, and there's just kind of like a second coat over areas that need it. There are still some spots that I am gonna go in with just like a smidge of concealer. I had like a breakout the other day, so like there are some raised spots, but so unfortunately like I can't cover all of that. All right, so then next, just to cover like any of those red spots that are still like peeking through there, I'm gonna use the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer in medium. And this is like the illumination kind. It's not a big deal, like it really doesn't show much. Alright, so there's that. Obviously I said I can't really cover texture, but I did kind of do what I can to cover redness. And I have been back to adding my freckles back. So again, you know, this is what I always use for my freckles. I'm gonna use the Laura Geller Inkcredible Waterproof Gel Eyeliner in Brown Sugar. It's just like one of the little twist up ones here. And I'm just gonna bring back some of my little freckles here. Alright, so then I'm going to just set all of this with the Revlon PhotoReady Candid Anti-Pollution Setting Powder in 001. I've really been liking this a lot lately. I just kind of bought it because I needed a new setting powder, and it just sounded interesting. And I'm glad that I did because I really, really like it. It seems to keep my face like really, like it doesn't make my face overly oily by the end of the day. And I'm just going to be using the, what is this? The Cala Powder 481 brush right here. And I am, like, there are some spots that have creased a little bit just because they haven't been powdered. So like here where I've been talking, I'm just gonna pat those with my beauty blender before setting them. Also like around my eyes and probably a little bit on my forehead. Alright, so there it is, powdered. Just put powder everywhere. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and bronze my forehead. And for that, I'm going to use the NARS Laguna bronzer, which is this is a bronzer that I've been like wanting to try for like a really long time, just because like I've heard a lot about it like on YouTube and everything. So this is what it looks like. It's a super big pan, and I really like that. And I really, really like this one. And I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics brush. Don't remember the number, but I will include it down below. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and bronze kind of like the edges of my forehead with this one. I had a sunburn like recently, and I didn't think it was that bad because like my face didn't hurt. Also it didn't really seem that red, but like apparently it was a pretty good burn because like my forehead has been relentlessly peeling, and the only time I notice it is when I'm putting my foundation on. So if it gets really bad, I actually have found a fix for that, which I'll tell you guys about in a second. Alright, and my forehead is peeling a bit. It's not as bad as it has been though, so luckily. But I am gonna go ahead and fix that. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like through here a little bit is like annoying. All right, so in order to stop that from happening, the other day I was just getting really frustrated because of how bad it really was. And at that point I was like, whatever I do, it really can't look much worse than it does right now, so whatever. So I found out, just go ahead and do like all of your foundation, your powder, even like your bronzer up to this point, basically to the point of where you're done with whatever part of your skin is like flaking. So like right now my forehead, I'm done with my forehead. I've already done foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer, all of that, so I'm done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of the GlamGlow Glowstarter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer in Nude Glow. I don't think it necessarily has to be this one. This is just the one that I've been using. And this one's good too because it adds a little bit of glowiness back to your skin. And I'm actually, let me, open it. And I'm just gonna take like the tip of my beauty blender and just take like the smallest little bit of this on here. Just like a little bit. And I'm just gonna lightly pat this over those dry areas. Don't go too like heavy-handed or crazy because it'll kind of tend to make your bronzer a little bit patchy. And even so, it might do it a little bit to me, but we'll see. Just light-handed, use a tiny little bit, and let me see if I'm in the camera. Just lightly tap it over those dry spots. And I have been just kind of like extending it over into other parts of my forehead just because you want to blend it out, especially if you're using this moisturizer, because it does have like illumination to it, so it makes it a little bit shiny, which I enjoy because then it just looks glowy on my forehead here. But you gotta be careful not to just put it in one single spot because that one place will be glowy and then like everything around it will not be, so you just want to blend it. And I've actually been bringing it down just like into the center of my forehead too, again, just to kind of add that glowiness back here. See, so it kind of just like makes the loose stuff like lay down, and this will kind of soak in too a little bit, and it kind of just adds that glowiness back. So it's been working for me. Might not work for you, I don't know, but it works for me. All right, so now that that is taken care of, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab the NARS Talia Contour Duo, and I really like this one. Oh no, I scuffed it with my nail. I hate that. But I've been loving this for contouring lately. It just is like that really nice like grayish brown that just kind of looks like a shadow. All right, and to contour, I had been using the, what is it? Where is it at? The Bamboo Naturals contour brush, which is this kind of like big fluffy angled guy right here, which I love. It's you know, it never gave me any issues, but I did want to try something a little bit smaller just so that I could be a little bit more precise with it. So I've been using the Japonesque 961. It's basically just a mini version of that guy right there. I'm gonna go ahead and use this, and I'm just gonna dip into that darker shade first. And I'm gonna contour. I like it too because it's buildable. Like, you tap off the extra so that you're not going in with like a bunch of pigment at once. But I really like contour shades that you can kind of work with and kind of build the pigment up instead of like going in full force. Because I feel like I love the Kat Von D contour palette. That was like one of my first that was the first contour palette that I ever tried, ever used. And it still is really good, and I love the pigment, but it does, like, if you're not careful, if you go too heavy-handed, it does make it a little bit hard to kind of blend, and it's just touchy. So I just like some of these shades that you can kind of build up a little bit more. And generally when I'm contouring, I try to build up the pigment a bit darker back here, because if you look at someone's like if someone has naturally super chiseled brows, generally like the darkest part of the shadow is back here, and then it fades out as it gets closer to like the mouth area here. I actually liked this so much that I went back and bought another one for my makeup kit for my clients. Alright, so then I'm going to switch over to my Sephora Pro Cream Shadow Brush number 28 right here, and I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose. So also what I've been doing is I'll just take like the tip of this brush and I'll dip it into just that, I'm blinding you guys, into this lighter shade right here, and I'll just lightly run it like along the edges of the contour. So like underneath, just lightly, light and quick, and right along the top here. Alright, so then next I'm going to grab the, what is this? I'm gonna grab the Dragun Beauty Transformation Face Powder Duo here. I don't know if I've talked about this on my channel before, but this one is really good. I like this a lot. I got like the whole egg, like the whole transformation thing with like the color corrector and everything. This one I feel like I need to play with a little bit more because I'm just not good with color correctors. Like I feel like I had a hard time with this one making my foundation darker. And I don't know if I was just doing something incorrectly, but I don't know. I want to play with it a little bit more because I want it to work for me. But I will say the powder is bomb. I love this one. I'm going to take my Real Techniques blush brush right here. Right? Yeah, blush brush. And I'm just going to kind of dip the brush into both of them. I'm just going to mix the powders. And I'm going to run it underneath of my contour. And over the contour. Just basically using this to make sure that my contour is all blended out. And then just doing the same with my nose contour right here. I'm just using this just to blend it out. Alright, so next on just this little no-name blush brush, I don't know what it is. I'm going to take the Too Faced Peach Blur. It's like a translucent smoothing finishing powder, and it smells like peaches. I love this powder. It's so yummy. This one isn't super pigmented, so like if you're just wanting like a straight up blush, this probably, if you have deeper skin tones, it probably won't work. If you're like super pale like me normally, this will probably work as just a light blush. But like I've kind of slightly been mixing this with other things, and not only do I love the smell, but I actually really like the way that it makes my skin look after using it. So like not only does it kind of give like a blushy look, it also kind of like blurs your pores in this area, which I love. And I also just kind of add it to the tip of my nose. And then because like it kind of gives like that soft blushy look, like you can kind of see it, but I do want it to just be a little bit more vibrant today because I did use the more tan foundation. It's not showing up as much. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink blush right here, and I'm just gonna use just a smidge just to kind of make that blush a little bit more predominant here. And then I always just take that Real Techniques blush brush again and just kind of like dab around the edges, just to, again, just make sure that everything's blended together really good. All right, so then next I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk 109 brush right here, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight my face. And I'm going to use the MAC Hyper Real Glow palette right here. This one's really good. It has 3 different highlighters in it. All of them are amazing. They're so pretty. Look at how shiny they are. My favorite ones are the middle one right here and the deeper one. Not that this one isn't good, but I just kind of, I don't know, I always favor these two. And I'm going to use that middle one. This is also one that I ended up liking so much that I went and back and bought one for my kit. I feel like it's a really not natural highlight because obviously like it's pretty bright, but it's not super like chunky glittery as some highlighters can get. And then once that's to where I want it to be, I'm gonna grab the e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I'm just gonna lightly like dust over those highlighted areas just to make sure that they're blended and make sure that they're not like too outrageous. Alright guys, so that is my skin routine. Let me go ahead and finish just the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back to kind of finish this video out. Alright guys, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup look today. So this is kind of my little like flawless skin routine that I've been doing lately. I really like it. It is slightly on the heavier side. It's not like, it doesn't feel like there's like a mask on my face by any means, but it is definitely more full coverage. So if that's not your thing, then it's not for you. But whereas I have redness and I just kind of like uneven skin tone and texture and all of that, I just need a little bit more help in that area. Also, I just wanted to throw it out there that if you like this eye look, then I actually also just filmed a tutorial on this eye look. So I don't know if that one's going up before or after this video, so just keep your eye out for when that one goes up, and I will show you how I did this one. Also, I did say this in the other video, but I want to say it here too. What's on my lips right now is the MAC Soar Lip Liner, and this one was a bit darker than what I wanted, so I just brought it back like just like one tone with the Essence Lip Liner in Satin Mauve. And then on top of it is the MAC Dazzleglass in Dress to Dazzle. Alright guys, so I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button down below and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. As always, all the products, brushes, social, all that stuff is always listed down below in the description box, so take a look at that. I hope you all have a great day or night, whatever time of day it is when you're watching this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!